How do Mime Artists? More UX stages that are currently available in Pokemon Shuffle and will probably be available for the foreseeable future. First off, here is Haunter, and as you might be able to tell, having done the main stages before, this set of 10 will predominantly be centered around Ghost type, so make sure you've got a very good Hoopa. If it's got a typeless combo, even better. So on this stage, brought along Mega Rayquaza just to be able to help with some combos. Darkrai, very much just there for the power. I don't think that the Sleep Charm ability works on Ghost types, but it's a powerful Pokemon. Feel free to swap it out if you like for something different. Hoopa, powerful. Guzzlord, good for the first few moves, just to really bring down its HP, and after that it's just a fairly heavy hitter in the combos. And this stage shouldn't really give too many problems, hopefully. Even with a team like this that probably isn't the best, but it's still an okay team, you can get an S rank, so if I can do it, then no doubt you can as well. And that's, I think Hoopa is level 15, Darkrai is about 12, and most of the others are about 10 or 11. Rayquaza fully leveled in every sense, the ability and the Mega Candies. And I think it's up to level 15 if it goes up to 15, 20 if it goes up to 20. Lampent again is very much the same. As you can see, it's just exactly the same team going in with. Feel free to swap out the Darkrai if you like. Mine's is just fairly powerful. It's a good super effective type on a stage like this. The Guzzlord, as I mentioned in the last stage, good for the first couple of moves just to bring down its HP a little bit, and Rayquaza is fantastic just for getting some good combos, which can help on a stage like this. As you can see, there will be a couple of Litwicks on the stage, but really nothing that you need to worry about even slightly, and by this stage the Rayquaza will be a Mega, so you can't really shot out them. And there we go, 12 moves left. Easy stage, delightfully simple. Just a nice little S rank. And some coins as well. Flareon is up next, full water team. So making a couple of the matches here, as you can see, gets rid of all of the Eevees and Flareons on the stage. You just make these matches and they will be gone. Absolutely gone. And then just making matches with the Ash Greninja as much as possible. Unfortunately, there aren't any unbreakable blocks on this stage to be able to get rid of or to use the Primal Kyogre for what it's best at, but that's completely fine. Feel free to swap out the Primal Kyogre if you like for something just a wee bit better, maybe as a better ability, something like Wailord or Poliwhirl, Poliwrath, whichever has the good, I think it's Splash ability, the one that increases damage for water types in a combo. That would be fine, but this Pokemon doesn't have a lot of HP. And then next up is Swalot with a Psychic team. We've got Shiny Mewtwo as the Mega, non-Shiny Mewtwo not as the Mega, Tapu Lele and Deoxys. A good couple of hits with the non-shiny Mega Mewtwo will be able to take out the stage. It doesn't have that much HP, and the Psy Burst, Psy Strike is a very powerful attack. A couple of unbreakable blocks on the stage, which is fairly easy just to get rid of, nothing too perturbing there. It's a fine, easy, delightful little stage. And there we go. Another simple S rank, don't need any items, and that is a fine team. This is a stage that you will probably need items on. It's the Gengar, which is a little bit... it's a little bit iffy. It will throw on, I think, some Ghastlies onto the stage, and just a whole host of ice blocks. That's why there's a mega started shiny Tyranitar on the team here. Also brought along Zoroark for its Sinister Power ability. I think it only went off once or twice, but it's still a fairly helpful Pokemon to have along, just to do extra damage for dark types in the combo. Matches with the Guzzlord in the first couple of moves are fantastic, just to really bring down its HP. It's relatively high HP. I think just the main part, or the main difficulty of this stage, is the ice block. So having the Mega Tyranitar, although it's not the best Mega when there aren't any ice blocks, when there are ice blocks it is very good indeed. This stage isn't really the easiest to get any form of a combo on, so if you want to swap out the... I was going to say the Zoroark for the Silvally, but that wouldn't really work. It's just that the Zoroark, mine's is only about skill level 2, so it's not the most consistent at using Sinister Power, so if you've got one that's slightly better... I know that one of the Giratinas has Sinister Power, although it's not Dark type, it's a little bit odd. And that's how the cookie is. And there we go. 7 moves left. Not too shabby of a stage, may just take a couple of items. Feel free to shimmy around the team if you like. I understand people may not want to use Guzzlord. It's an okay-ish Pokemon. And then next up is Persian. I don't think we've used a full fighting team in this video so far. So going in, full fighting team. We've got Buzzwole trying to make matches of 4 with that. Beware, very good, making some 4 or 5 matches with that. Being able to slow down some of the disruptions is very helpful indeed. This stage doesn't have much HP at all, so a couple of really good bashes with the Beware or with the Buzzwole or even with the Meloetta, and this stage will be a piece of cake. And another S rank, Lilligant up next. Super effective team of Ho-Oh and Genesect, and then there's also the shiny Mewtwo, which I don't think is super effective here, but it's just a good Pokemon to have along, very powerful. There aren't that many moves, so if you can get a good match with the Ho-Oh, you will be completely fine and able to beat this stage itemlessly. You shouldn't really worry about the Petilil on the stage, they're not too obtrusive, although I think something like a Noivern is super effective here, so you could always bring along that, use the shot out ability. If it's fully skill leveled, maybe 1 or 2 hits with that should see you through. Then Froslass using a +5 moves, as it's one of those uncomfortable stages that has got only 3 moves to begin with, so unless you can take it out in 1 move you don't get the S rank, and the way it's set up you don't really get matches of 4 for the Buzzwole just to be able to take that out, so a +5 moves and there's almost no chance you won't be able to S rank it. It would be incredibly hard to miss the S rank on this stage with the +5 moves. As you can see, there we go, not too bad. There's some Froslass on the stage to begin with. You could go with a metal team and take Celesteela, but there aren't that many on the stage and it's not too hard to get rid of them. Then we've got Zoroark up next. using a +5 moves for this, because there are going to be a lot of unbreakable blocks on the stage. If you want to bring along I'm trying to remember that fighting type that's got the block smash plus Gallade. If you want to bring along Gallade, that would probably be fine on a stage like this. I was able to do it with just the +5 moves with this team. It's a little bit hard, but if you can, between turns, get the Beware going off just to slow down the disruptions, it's very good. And then making as many matches with the Buzzwole, with matches of 4 as possible. And if you can't get any of them, making matches with the Meloetta as many as possible, as often as possible. There will be some Zeruas on the stage, which is a little bit uncomfortable as well. It's just going to be quite a lot on the stage, but being able to make matches with the Buzzwole and with the Beware when there aren't any blocks on the stage is fantastic, and that's definitely the way to go to beat this stage. It's not got a huge amount of HP, it's relatively high, relatively okay, so a good couple of bashes and you should be able to deal with it, no bother. And lastly here, it's gonna look like an odd team going in for Ampharos here. Nihilego, I think, is fairly pants on almost all stages except Ampharos. Because you've got that 15 countdown, it will just reset it once you make a match. So leave it maybe 10 turns, make a good match of 4 with the Nihilego, and it will take you straight back up to 15, so you don't need to worry about the Mareep on the stage. Or is it Flaffy? Mareep, Flaffy, Potato, Tomato, one of the two. After that, making matches as many as possible with either the Silvally or the Mewtwo. I tried going in with just a full itemless team and just did not find that that was working at all, unfortunately. With a ground team, I mean, that was not working. I tried using Camerupt. I found this to be definitely the most consistent team. I will admit it's odd. Nihilego is probably a Pokemon quite a few people don't even have, because it's not that good, really. Poison types are never really needed too often. It's one of those mainly forgotten about types that doesn't really have much going for it. But I think this is a very good team. Mewtwo can hit very hard with Psystrike, Silvally can hit with Typeless Combo, and then you've got the shiny Gyarados that's able to really help with the combos. So if you can match with the Silvally and shiny Gyarados, it's a good turn for you. So as you can see there, Nihilego's ability just takes it back up to 15 moves left, which is very helpful, just because you don't really want to tech in something that gets rid of them, like a Flygon, just because that would take up some space that you could be using on a Pokemon that can hit hard or can do well in the combo. You do only need to use the Nihilego once. After that, use it as a secondary attacker, never as an active match, just because you can always be doing more damage with the Mewtwo, even if it's just a match of 3. One good match with the Nihilego, and mine's is fairly powerful. It's about level 10, so if yours is somewhat close as well, it doesn't really need to be highly skill leveled. Mine's, I think, is only skill level 1. It's still able to go off fairly consistently with a good match of 4 or a match of 5. So leave it until there are about 5 or so turns left before the disruptions start, and then start hitting with the Nihilego. Don't want to leave it too late or it just becomes useless. It's an odd one, but I found it to be very useful indeed. And there, with just a tiny bit of health left, that is Ampharos 130. That's this set of 10 stages completely done and over with. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Leave a like, leave a subscribe, and how do, Mime Artists?
Eggs! Eggs! E-double-G-S eggs!